Doc Loves the Kids, a local Kitsap County nonprofit organization established in 2015 whose mission is to provide activities, programs, and community support for at-risk youth.
They put the you in community.
Doc Loves the Kids.
Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy.
Where we give you the courtesy of conversation
that's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. LA immigration protests live update. Cars in flames and the National Guard is deployed. The Trump administration has deployed California's National Guard in response to protests in Los Angeles that began Friday evening over immigration enforcement operations, which resulted in some clashes between demonstrators and authorities, the White House said in a statement. The protest continues throughout the weekend and will probably continue into Monday today, where demonstrators halted traffic on the 101 freeway as Los Angeles police deemed it an unlawful assembly. This comes after President Donald Trump signed a memorandum deploying 2,000 National Guardsmen to address the lawlessness. In California, as demonstrators oppose immigration and custom enforcement operations continue in the state, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said. California Governor Gavin Newsom asked the Trump administration to rescind the deployment, saying the federal government was moving to take over the California National Guard, calling the move purposefully inflammatory, and saying it will only escalate tensions. Gavin Newsom knows his constituents. He knows if you keep bringing more troops down to L.A., more troops going to come out in L.A.
And when you look at it, Pete Hegseth came out actually today and said that, if the lawlessness, the quote unquote lawlessness does not stop, he's willing to call on the Marines, which is illegal unless you invoke the Aliens Enemies Act or invoke martial law, which, at this point in time, we've seen lots of protests all over. It's really giving me the vibe that, I'm happy to see LA rioting, but this is giving me the vibe from as a diversion more than anything else from the Trump administration, from the fact that he's in the Epstein files as alleged by Elon Musk. So it's giving me the fact of, okay, let's go ahead and look over to the right, you guys, or look over to the left, you guys, or however you want to call it. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, they brought Garcia back, like we're going to talk about that later on, but they try to hit him with some old pedo stuff, and I'm like, that's their MO. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if I get accused of something, we're going to accuse the other side of something, the same thing, and get the camera off us. But at the end of the day, he's still in the Epstein files. Think about it. If you weren't in it, you would have released it.
And at the same time, I'm happy to see LA stand up for what they believe in. These guys, they were basically sending in these raids, and I think it was into a Home Depot or something, and it was like they just weren't going for it.
Well, I'll show the clip right now. They were in a neighborhood and like the people weren't having it. They're like, "Nah, get up out of our neighborhood. You ain't gonna be doing that over here."
This is a sanctuary city at the same time. Not saying that people who are illegal, but these guys have been going after even Republican lawmakers, like a Republican lawmaker from in the Congress from Florida even came out and said, "Hey, you know what? We were all for you guys going after the criminals and the gang members and people who come here illegally who are committing crimes, but we're not for you guys going after people who came here under asylum acts." People from Venezuela, people from Cuba, people from other countries like this, Haiti, who's come here under these asylum acts and are legally going through the process. And you guys are going and taking them out of court as they're going through the process. We see what you're doing. This has nothing to do with you wanting to get rid of immigrants. It has more to do with you want to get rid of people of color out of this country. And we all see it for what it is. And I hope that California continues to stand up in other places as well.
Yes, there's actually a lady from Chile. She was in New York with her 12-year-old daughter. just being a tourist, ICE picked her up, arrested her, and left her 12-year-old daughter on the streets of New York City.
Did you see the guy? You see the one guy who's like a TikToker, who's like a famous TikToker. They went and picked him up as well. The guy who just does the thing with his hands like this, doesn't talk.
Yes.
They picked him up as well. I think his name like Karambi or something like that. I don't know his name.
He's highly famous.
Yeah. He has the most followers on TikTok. He's the, you know what I mean? So I mean, it's not like that shields you from this, but these are people who are not here. He has money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys should be more than happy to want him here. He's buying stuff. He's not trying to live he don't care about living here. He's just traveling in and out of countries. What are we doing right now as a nation? What we don't understand is this is going to hurt us overall. You guys think this is helping us in some kind of way because you're stuck with your old way of thinking. Your time is over. This is it. Okay. And within the next 20 years, you guys will be in. Go ahead.
You think there's like, I told people these people are not gonna go just crawl back into the shadows. They're gonna go out kicking and screaming. They voted for this. This won the election, supposedly. You know what I'm saying? So we live in a country, it's on full-blown white supremacy. Right now, they're rounding up all the brown folks. You know what I'm saying? The black people, they're gonna come for us too. Right now, they're rounding up all the black folks.
They're coming after
brown
blacks
folks,
too, though. They're going after the
they're
Haitians as
coming
well.
after everybody, right? That's not white. That's what got voted in
It's
here.
not
So
European.
Yeah.
There's not a such thing as, you know what I mean? As
I mean,
white.
that's what they're rounding up. And I mean, they're not getting, you had the one lady, she was like, yes, Latinos for Trump, Latinos for Trump. Now she's like, look, they're arrested everybody. Of course, they're gonna arrest, and he already deployed 20,000 National Guardsmen.
2,000.
No, there's 2,000 in LA, and then they just authorized 20,000 to come help them with night raids on homes. No warrants.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So think about it, they're gonna be kicking American doors open.
Night raids. Who do you think? Not just American doors, anyone's door who they deem to be. Okay, if you were online, you're saying something negative about Trump, go kick their door and let's go see what's going on. I think that you're harboring this. Are you? Listen, I feel like people need to stand up to the point to where if you're in the military or if you're in the National Guard, if you're a police officer and you're going for this, then you're part of a Gestapo that's against your country. You are not a patriot. Don't talk about being a patriot. You know how many people on our page today came out talking about, oh, this is for all anti-American Democrats. You don't ever talk to me about being anti-American after January 6th to try to overturn the election. Don't ever talk to us about what peaceful protests or even protests in general. The first thing that started this country was not a peaceful protest. We all know that. But what they didn't do is raid the Capitol. That's what you guys do. You don't have a leg to stand on when you talk about patriotism or American, any of this stuff. You're out of here when it comes to that.
Depends on what side you're on, right? In Gaza, the people of Gaza, they feel like they're freedom fighters. But on the news, the people in Gaza are looked out as monsters and criminals. So it's all about thinking about
perspective. It's perspective, but it's a lie. It's a lie perspective. It's not truly a perspective because it's really a lie. Like when we talk about people want you to hate Hamas. Like are you against Hamas or not? Well, let me ask you this: if you keep on running in my house, raping my wife, killing one of my kids or whoever else, and taking whatever you want from me, beating everyone in the house, and I fight back, does that make me a terrorist? Does that make me a terrorist at that point in time? Or are you a terrorist and I'm just reciprocating your terror? That's it. So at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
One more time.
I mean, it depends on what side of the conflict that you're on. So I mean, for me, it's like coming back to this. These people are already erasing history. They're going to write this differently too. Our country is no longer a democracy. We're just playing like it is. Like, oh, look how many laws these people have broken. And I told you, I told you specifically, Wes, I said, everyone will realize what kind of country we live in now by the summertime. And it's warm outside now, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You see the bugs out there, the birds flying around. And we're about to have a military parade down the street like a true dictator. Seeing the tanks rolling into D.C.
At the same time, who else I'm very proud of as well? The people over in Minneapolis. They fought back as well. People are fighting back, and it's starting to happen more and more. You know what? The thing of it is, though, there's it's like a little movie or something like where it shows everyone with a table with a game on everyone's back. But what they said is when everyone stands up, the game is over. That's what we have to do at this point in time.
Police are now pepper spraying and throwing stuff out here in the streets. They're blocking ICE, blocking the FBI.
This is America. This is why we need to also fight against the laws of our state that are trying to come after our firearms. Washington State bad thing. This is exactly the reason why we need firearms. Everything that you could possibly get. This is why right here.
I've said it on the show multiple times. I was like, get stock up on guns, stock up on ammunition, magazines, water, canned food, and wood if you have a wood burning stove, because it's not going to get any better. They're not going to back down.
Yeah, I'm definitely calling for everybody to protest. I'm definitely calling for everybody to be in the streets about this. This is definitely what we should be doing right now. This is not a call for violence. This is a call to stand up and take back the country that is yours. This person thinks he is a dictator. He thinks he can run this country however he wants. He won't even stand up to Putin. Go watch the interview when he spoke with the German chancellor. It's supposed to be about Ukraine. He didn't even want to talk about that, but he spoke down on who? The South African president would love to treat him like he was a child in front of the world, because that's okay for him to do. But he would never do that to a person who's a European. He wouldn't do that to them. Go watch that interview and watch how he was afraid to speak about Putin in that interview. Whenever they brought it up, he changed the subject. This man is a coward. The person who you guys put into office and call President 47 is a coward. Period. Plain and simple. And people who voted for them, they are basically, you know what you guys are too. You know, I've never watched you guys talk about how you don't like people who are part of the LGBTQ community, but you treat him like you guys want to be part of this community as well. That's how you treat them.
Well,
There's nothing wrong with that community at all. But I mean, don't talk about people who you act like. Go ahead.
Trump has been exposed multiple times as a sexual predator, and they still voted for him. They saw the flat logs. They saw him begging for massages at night. I mean, back to the main topic of Los Angeles. The people in LA aren't going to back down. I've seen them ride over a Lakers championship, and now you're just feeling it. Southern California is highly diverse. Los Angeles is highly diverse area. You know what I'm saying? And think about it, if ICE comes in there, they're just picking everybody, all the Mexicans up, Hispanic people up, Indian people up. You know what I'm saying? And these people, they're not going to have it. These are their neighbors. These are their friends. It may seem like we are divided, but in certain communities, like, people are united. We all get along because we look at each other by the character of who we are, not the content of our skin. Now, you have people in the Midwest and small farm towns that don't have anybody else that's diverse around them. So that's the reason they're cheering it on. But now then they complain that their fruit prices are going up, and this is going up, and and they don't understand how
stops paying.
They don't want
California stops paying. I mean, you're in your 14 states out there that don't pay anything, and all of them are red states. Just wait and see what happens to the money coming into you. Wait and see what happens to America's, basically our credit rating, if California stops paying to the federal government. That's $80 billion they pay. They pay a lot more, but they put in $80 billion more than they get out from the federal government every year. That's going to hurt your credit rating to not get that $80 billion. Think about it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that's going to go wrong here in this country if
maybe it should happen.
Childish games. You know what I'm saying?
Because I mean, what the government's doing right now, this particular administration, they're just taking our money and keeping it. You know, that's the whole plan. The king is collecting his tax. That's why they cut all these programs and stuff. People don't understand
FEMA,
that.
Everything.
They're just keeping the money. And you're going to need FEMA. The guy in charge of FEMA was like, we have a hurricane season? For real? Look at, I mean, like, so many people are unqualified, but that was the whole plan. It wasn't about them being qualified.
It was crash America.
Being loyal to the crown.
Crash America. That's what this whole thing is about. You're operative. You guys think this is not what an operative does? Try to cause civil strife here in our nation. That's not what an operative does. You're not taking back anything. You can't take back something that's already rolled over. It's done. 2045. You know where your people are headed. They're headed this way all over the world. There's nothing you can do about it. Deal with it. Deal with it on a better scale. If you don't, it's gonna be taken. It's gonna be taken.
They'd rather burn it down. They'd rather. I mean, that's what I would do if I've been in charge this long of everybody, the whole world. Now I'm losing that grip. I'll burn it down. They'd rather burn the whole planet down and give it back. It's not gonna be no thing. Hey, we had a good run. You guys hope you do better than us. Nope, they're gonna burn it all down. And that's what you see right now. This man is in charge. It's been less than 6 months, and our country is in full-blown chaos. The economy's crashing. The people are hungry. They're concerned. They're losing their jobs. There's disease running rampant. It's like the 7 plagues of the biblical Bible. You know,
the clown in chief in charge that you guys sit back and
that likes to
cheer for at any given time.
Women, little young girls,
and you guys know that too. All of you know that.
Highly documented. We've seen it, and you decided, hey, I like that because you like touching them too. You know what I'm saying? So, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, this is Uncommon Courtesy. We'll keep you updated in LA. Until next time.